Welcome to Edge of Tomorrow aka Groundhog Day with Aliens. The movie opens with a bunch of news bites which basically give us the rundown of things, and what happened is that in 2015 a meteor fell near Hamburg in Deutschland über alles, and it apparently served as a transport ship for some extremely survived a crash from outer space to Earth resilient spaghetti-like alien monsters called mimics, which swiftly, and by swiftly they say 5 years, conquered most of the continental Europe, which in my book makes them the laziest alien race in Hollywood history. But anyway, we also learned that by 2020 the rest of the Homo sapiens world has come together, but not in a sexual way, and formed a military alliance, UDF, which stands for United Dumbass Fuckwits, cause it took them 5 years to finally win a battle against spaghetti monsters near the city of Verdun thanks to some new first-class platinum-tier next-gen war rig they borrowed from Ellen Ripley and Emily Grunt, who plays Rita aka Full Metal Bitch. And I didn't make this up, so 1 gold star for this movie, and I'm gonna start a gold star counter and you'll see why down the line. Anyway, she single-handedly cooked hundreds of spaghetti bitches with a cricket bat at the Battle of Verdun and thus became viral. So after winning 1 single battle in 5 years, guess what the brilliant military minds decide to do next? Naturally, they launch a massive invasion on France, basically D-Day version 2.0, genius move, real smart shit. And in charge of selling the invasion to the general public so they can join the army, fight the spaghetti bitches, and come back home in a body bag is none other than our main character, spin Dr. William Cage, played by Ethan Hunt. He is casually sleeping in a helicopter cause we all know they don't make any noise. He has a meeting in London with Fat General Menelaus from Troy. He is always planning some invasion. He also wants Cage to pitch the invasion to the masses. Cage lays some generic ideas, but it all goes to shit cause the Fat General wants him to be on the front line with a TV crew. Cruiser is what the fuck. Disbelief tries to weasel his way out of it cause he's a massive top-of-the-line chicken shit, and he's like, I'm allergic to brawl. But he bombs spectacularly, goes all in, adds a blackmail to the pot, and Big Kahuna decides to stick his entire dick up his ass, not just the tip.
Arrest this man.
Tommy Boy tries to run away, but this ain't Mission Impossible, so they zap him. He wakes up at the Skid Row airport that serves as a base for the upcoming invasion and is straight away pissed on with a humongous stream of urine by Sergeant Farrell, who's like, I'm gonna ride your fancy aristocratic Ivy League bottom all day long cause Cage is now officially a pussy-ass bitch/deserter. Farrell takes him to his unit that has the best name ever.
J-Squad.
Thanks movie, I'm gonna steal it, another gold star for you. J-Squad is a bunch of hard-ass lookalikes and they start getting into Cage's face ASAP cause they're down with fancy-ass Major being demoted to a mere private just like them. And now let's take a moment and meet the members of the J-Squad cause I have a feeling they're all gonna die. Aussie dick, angry dick, Latina bitch. She's probably Latina, I have no fucking clue, I'm just riffing here. Black dick, white hillbilly trash, and likable white fatso. So next day, while he's sweating like a pig, they suit him up in this pile of iron that supposedly helps in combat, but seeing how he moves I call bullshit. They load them up on some science fiction movie aircrafts and he's completely clueless, still sweating. They're about to parachute without the parachute on the beach and the furious Tom Cruise action sequence starts. Plane goes to shit, he drops/falls on the beach without breaking a single bone. Fatso bites the dust, some dude's exosuit with Windows 10 installed crashed. Cage is lost in translation, bumps into Full Metal Bitch. She's bashing spaghetti monsters with her cricket bat left and right, but gets raped herself in the ass and dies prontissimo. Cage pushes out, but Sergeant Farrell brings him to J-Squad only to see them get obliterated by spaghetti whore cause this whole invasion thing was practically an ambush. Cage finally gets a hold of his weapon, kills 1 spaghetti whore, but there's another one that jumps to him, but he manages to detonate a grenade, killing both the spaghetti whore and himself in the process, and since Ethan Hunt dies, let's add another gold star. But he immediately wakes up at the airport unharmed like nothing happened, only to go through the same shit all over again. But this time he goes through it all with a huge what the f sign tattooed all over his forehead cause like a homicidal elephant. He remembers everything. He is back on the beach, sees Rita again and saves her life, but gets hit and she lives up to her nickname, takes his energy brick and leaves him to die. And you'll never guess what happens next. Looks like he's stuck in a time hamster wheel as he wakes up again, and this time tries to persuade Farrell and J-Squad they're all gonna die on that beach cause it's a trap, and they do the only logical thing and they slap a silencer on his yap with duct tape. He's on the beach again, saves Fatso's ass but is pancaked by a plane, wakes up again on the beach again but gets trucked, evades the truck next time and smashes Rita, saves her life and tells her they're all cause it's an ambush while casually killing 29 spaghetti whores since it's his 97th time on this beach. And now Full Metal Bitch, what the okay, I should have set up counter for that one too. So she throws away her cricket bat and tells him to find her when he wakes up, and they both die. Or so it seems. Cage wakes up again, goes out to find her, dies once more in the funniest way in this movie, escapes Farrell and J-Squad in the stupidest possible way. Cause there's no fucking way nobody saw him when he runs off, and I'm taking away 2 gold stars for this shit. He finds her and she's so fuckable here, I gotta give her 5 extra gold stars. She's like,
who said you could talk to me? I got something on my face, soldier.
And Cage is like, no, but I hope you will by the end of the movie. Okay, he didn't say that, he was like, we meet tomorrow at the beach, you told me to find you, and now it's me who is what the fucking by what I just said. She takes him to this loony scientist Doc Brown with a speech glitch, and we finally get some info on what the fuck is going on. Basically, there are 2 types of mimics, regular ones that serve as basic infantry meat, and bluish ones called alphas that are sort of generals on the battlefield. They are all controlled by a glowing super AI brain boss called the Omega, and it's a fucking cheater cause anytime an alpha is killed it resets the day and readjusts so they can never lose a battle to humanoid morons, which brings me back to my point. If the Omega can reset the day, how the fuck it took them 5 years to conquer Europe? This Omega is fucking brain dead. And when Cage killed a spaghetti whore on day 1, it was an alpha and its dung got into his system, so now he has that voodoo power to reset the day, same as Blunt had it at the Battle of Verdun, and that's how they were able to win. They say Cage will start having visions about the location of the Omega, so all they have to do now is to turn Cage the pussy into a Terminator, wait till he gets the vision, locate the Omega, and nuke it. A simple walk in the park, but hey, this is a Tom Cruise sci-fi action movie, so fuck off. But there is one major rule: he must die every day and cannot get a blood transfusion. That's how Rita lost her power, which is some top-of-the-line bullshit, because how did she know she lost the voodoo power unless she died and no reset happened, which would have made her an archaeological artifact by now, but then Tom wouldn't have his leading lady, so all good. They start putting in the reps, he's always shooting 360 without ever killing an innocent bystander, and I'll just add 10 gold stars cause Ethan Hunt is a couch potato and dies / gets killed by Rita every 2 seconds. He finally gets a vision of the Omega at some water dam in Germany, and by that time they became natural-born killers, so through series of trials and errors they try to figure out a way to get out of the fuckfest on the beach where Miss Krasinski dies 24/7, so he's guilt-tripping a lot while simultaneously crushing on her. After 10,000 tries they finally make it off the beach into an abandoned house where a helicopter full of gas is conveniently parked, but pussy-ass boy Cage is afraid of heights and doesn't want to fly, stitches her up and makes a rookie mistake that makes Rita realize they've been there before. Basically this is the last stop for her, because in the previous 74 attempts to fly out she always gets slaughtered by a spaghetti monster that's lurking in the backyard, and he's like, if you keep dying I'll never be able to fuck you. Okay, I just made that up, but she's a thick-skulled full metal bitch, tries to fly, but not everyone is meant to have wings, and she gets fucking deaded. So Cruiser decides to ditch her and flies solo to Germany, gets into the dam. But it's another trap, cause the Omega isn't there just some alpha that doesn't kill him, because it's maybe supposedly I don't fucking know somehow after his blood and his voodoo power, but he manages to run away and die by drowning. So they go back to the crazy speech glitch scientist dude since his plan went to shit. Turns out there might be another way to find the Omega because he built some ultra-advanced science fiction movie device that when
You stick it into the alpha and it taps into the wavelength connecting it to the Omega.
But it's sitting at a safe in Fat General's office, so they decide to go and get it, and since they don't have an alpha at hand they will stick it up Tom Cruise's ass. Again, through series of trials and errors they manage to get to Big Kahuna, and now it is his turn to be what the fucking, and since it's their 39th time in his office, Cage impresses him with some abracadabra crap.
Major General Beaumont calling from Halifax. His plane's just been delayed. Tell the general his dinner's just been canceled. The call came in just now.
Your dinner was cancelled.
So Fatso caves cause it's a question of fate of all mankind and shit, and hands them the science voodoo thing. But they get jumped on their way out by Marines cause I guess Big Kahuna is fully retarded after all. Blunt resets the day, and couple of tries later they manage to steal a fancy ass car, and while driving around in a garage and miraculously dodging all the bullets, and because Cage is still a pussy despite all the training, Full Metal Bitch shoves the sci-fi thing in his quad and he goes Dalai Lama spiritual, transcends out of his body and sees the Omega underneath the Louvre Museum, interestingly alongside this car here. They get out of the garage, bullets flying, Cage gets shot in the leg, Optimus Prime smashes their car and the two of them doze off. Okay, why didn't she kill him when they saw where the Omega is? That way you would have more time to prepare, you stupid cunts. Cage wakes up to see they gave him some blood, so he's what the fucking yet again. Goes ballistic and tries to escape, but he's still a moron. Luckily Blunt saves his ass, and since he lost the Groundhog Day power, they now have one shot to kill the Omega, and to do it they need some manpower, so Cage tries to draft the J Squad and they're like, fuck off mate. But when Rita shows up they turn into a bunch of Krasinskis / Full Metal Bitch fanboys / groupies, and they buy into their story. So they steal a sci-fi movie aircraft which goes unnoticed cause Hollywood are all focused as fuck. Rita smiles at Cage so she might put out by the end, but they get attacked outside of the Louvre. Fatso dies stat, they drop, Cage crashes with the plane in the water but is unharmed apart from his gimp. They regroup, but since they're still far away and low on ammo they decide to do some sci-fi movie magic and glide to the Louvre in an abandoned sci-fi aircraft by turning the jet engines horizontally. They start the engine, spaghetti whores come charging, Aussie Dick and hillbilly white trash do some heroic shit and blow themselves up next to a gas tank while killing a total of 4 mimics, only 996 remaining. They start gliding, black dude croaks, Tom Cruise as an action hero is in full swing killing spaghetti whores left and right while floating midair. They go through a triumphal arch and crash into the Louvre. Rita is unscathed cause she put the safety belt while dumbass Cruiser broke every bone in his body. And we got some breaking news, all is well cause Tom Cruise is unharmed. They run away from the mimics and jump into this giant hole while placing a grenade in a crack. Cruise bounces left and right without breaking, a single rib bomb goes off and debris handily covers the entrance so mimics can't follow them, and now they can focus on the last level and fight the big bad boss or just fuck. Cage sees the spot where Omega is hiding underwater, but there's a homicidal alpha lurking, so they decide that Full Metal Bitch will lure the bluish spaghetti monster and Cage will limp over to the water with some grenades and blow up the Omega. But before they part she kisses him, and I guess intense warlike situations bring people together much faster, but I gotta point out that technically she only met him this morning cause she can't remember shit, only he can, so Emily, you slut, it's way too early for this. So she runs off, Alpha is on her, he limps off to the pool, Alpha smashes Rita and sees that Cage is up to no good, he jumps in the water, Alpha is on his ass as he tries to get to the Omega, but honestly it just looks like he's drowning. Alpha pierces him with his cock, but only after he released the grenades. Tom Cruise flips off Alpha Hollywood style, Omega swallows, grenades go off and boom, Omega's gone, all spaghetti monsters die instantly, the end. Oh fuck, there's more. Cage is wrapped in Omega's piss, wakes up a day early in the helicopter and finds out that humanity has prevailed. J Squad is all fine and dandy and he does the only thing I would do, also tracks down Full Metal Bitch cause he wants to slip her one, the end.